It was the post World War II that led to the Korean War generation, um, that reshaped and redefined what this country was. We were, uh, at the time of the war, in a depression. Um, there was no sizable middle class. What was called the middle class was mostly in the ads in newspapers. Um, and whatever the middle class was, it never made a lot of money. It was only the fact that we weren't hit by bombs or affected um, uh, economically or physically during the war that we came out of the war uh, and were able to, in a position to explode economically. And there was the GI Bill, and suddenly a whole generation of, of people whose families had never had any education, who had led hardscrabble lives for generations and generations and generations. Suddenly they were in this thing that was called the middle class, and they could buy little homes, and they could live on, they could live the movie version of the American dream, on a more modest scale. But such a thing had never happened. And it was suddenly the biggest middle class in history. And and what I started commenting on many years later in my noir graphic novels that I've just been working on over these past years, is that at the height of all of this incredible explosion after the war, with the biggest burst of affluence and education and opportunity, um, what our popular forms created for us was science fiction movies with invasions from creatures from another planet who were coming out to threaten us and gobble us, and noir films where people were betraying each other all over the place. But there was a dark strain throughout this incredible affluence. There were also the MGM musicals, which showed the other side of it, the ebullience and the happiness. But noir in particular, and sci-fi, showed that with all of this incredible optimism, people were, for some reason or other, afraid. And the freedom they should have been enjoying and the outburst they should have been enjoying had a dark side to it. And it's that dark side that I started commenting on, not knowing what I was doing when I was still a kid, and it's what I continue to do to this day.